Okay, welcome to Intro to Digital Design Week 1. This is the 8-week doubled up content course. It goes really fast. I have it very organized for you guys so that we can systematically hit everything that we would hit in the 16-week class. But it's a lot of work and there's a lot of content, as you may have seen. Are you guys welcome? And thank you guys for showing up. It's going to be a little bit tricky until we get solid and settled on a time for this meeting. This meeting, it's not required that you be here, but it is required that you at least let me know whether you can, if you cannot make it, so I can give you credit in that way. And that's just a way that I track your participation and that you are week to week paying attention to what's in the modules and what's going on and what we're learning. But those of you that are able to attend, you're going to get a lot out of it. There is a lot to share and go back and forth with, and a lot of opportunity to get more out of this class since we are in an online environment. I'm going to today show you guys, I made a list. I'm going to make sure that we are all clear on Canvas and how our modules work. I want to talk about our class Zoom time and kind of, I have a couple of options. So those of us that are here are going to get to have some input on that because next week we'll likely change this time. And then go over any questions you have just generally about the class and then also about the content for this week. So the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and share my screen so that you guys can see Canvas, and you're going to be seeing it from my view of it, which I'm going to switch to a student view, but it's going to have like a weird pink thing that you guys can just kind of ignore. So I'm going to move you all to my monitor up above, and this is what I meant when it looks like I'm rolling my eyes, but really I'm just looking at you guys up above my camera. So can you all see Canvas on my internet browser? Yeah. Okay, cool. And do you guys all know how to use the thumbs up? Yep, a lot. I'm seeing a lot of thumbs up come up. Perfect. That also works great. So I can at least know that what I'm showing you is the right thing and not just talking and showing you something completely different. So everything that we do is going to be in Canvas. You do not need to show up to the weekly Zoom in order to complete this class. You can self-guide yourself through the class. And it's going to be real obvious every week, usually Sunday night, because I have a weird weekend. I have a Sunday, Monday weekend. So instead of getting up early to launch your class for you Monday, I usually do it Sunday night. You will have new content that will show up. And for this 8-week class, it's going to be 2 modules every week. You're going to have part 1 and part 2 of each week. And they're going to be really similar. They're going to take you through a welcome page that just lets you know what we're going to do for the week, that gives you a little something fun to kick off your creative juices, and then a checklist. The checklist is going to be what you need to do for the week, and it's going to be at the beginning and the end of every module. Once you get in there on that first page, though, you just keep hitting next at the bottom of each page, and it will take you through that week's module until you get to the very end, which will be a final weekly checklist or a part 1 of week 1 checklist. I'm going to just keep going till I get through it so that you see what that looks like. There's going to be assignments and a weekly discussion, quizzes from week to week. Okay, and then your end of the week checklist. So this again makes sure that you did everything on the list. The other way to check is you can just jump back to modules on any of your pages and it'll take you back to the beginning and you can see all of the pages within the modules. Discussions have little discussion icons. Any of the quizzes have a little rocket ship, and then your assignments have like a little paper and pencil. So I'm sure you guys signed up for an online class. You know what to expect. Have most of you been in Canvas before and are feeling pretty comfortable with it? So you can also message me through Canvas if you need to get a hold of me. It goes straight to my email, it pops up on my phone. I am a big, I'm going to leave student view. Well, I'm going to leave it in a minute. I love Canvas. I think it's a fantastic way for us to do this online kind of class situation. And it sucks that we can't be in person, but it works great for what we need to do. I grade your assignments kind of as they come. I get notifications on my phone that I have assignments to grade, and I will grade them as they're put in, as you guys complete them, with the exception of our bigger projects, because our bigger projects will have multiple due dates. They'll be broken up into sections, and as the things are due, if you're turning them in, I just give you full credit, and then once everything is turned in, I go back and grade it. And you usually end up losing a little bit of points because I don't want it to affect your grade the whole time we're working on it. So I just put full credit in there, and then I go ahead and grade it accordingly at the end. So that's the only exception. Everything else I grade as you guys put in, so that you can see what your grade is in the class and know where you stand. Anytime you have questions about that, feel free to email me or message me through Canvas, and I'm always around. That said, the other time that you can also get in to talk to me is Wednesday evenings at 5. I turn on Zoom, I do other stuff on my computer, and I have an hour where my Zoom is open and it's my office hours. And you're welcome to drop in for one-on-one help, for questions, for anything like that. And that's Wednesday evenings at 5. So since we're talking times, let's talk about this Tuesday at 4:30 time slot. I teach the 16-week version of this class, and our Zoom is 3 o'clock on Tuesdays. So 3 to 4, I'm doing that. And I thought, oh, then I'll just jump in and do this at 4:30. And I kind of realized that might be pushing it, because sometimes we do go over on some of our bigger classes. And because there'll be opportunities for you guys to share your work for extra credit during these meetings. And if a lot of people end up sharing, sometimes the class goes longer. So I wanted to kind of take a vote. I know I asked you in the student questionnaire what your kind of preferred time is, but for those of you that are here, does anyone have a preference between Tuesday at 4:30 and maybe Wednesday at 4, where I did it before my office hours? And you guys are welcome to unmute yourself and actually have like verbal commentary to this question, please. Dawn.
So, hi, I'm Dawn. For me, I do have a little bit of a conflict at this time.
Okay.
It intersects with my art class, which is at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
On which day?
On Tuesdays.
On Tuesdays. Okay, so that's a vote for Wednesday. I kind of am voting and leaning towards Wednesday too, just because then I'm not doubling up, and in case it goes over my other class. Does anyone else have any kind of preference or anything? Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of at the end of this week read the student surveys and kind of go from there. But I wanted to give you guys, because you made the effort to show up, an opportunity to have input and choose a time slot. I'd rather do it Tuesday or Wednesday. Like I said, I take Mondays off, and the later in the week, I feel like it's almost too late to give you guys the information that you need to complete the work for that week's class. So I don't want to do it later than Wednesday, because I feel by Thursday, you've only got a few days to complete the work. And if I haven't been able to give you a demonstration or extra information, it's a waste of the first half of the week. So, all right, well, it's looking good for Wednesday, Dawn.
Wonderful. I won't have to cut that short for now on then.
Thank you, guys. This week's content, I want to just touch on that briefly to make sure that we're on the same page, and that is just kind of the lesson portion of this week's Zoom. There's a lot of kind of initial informational meet and greet stuff that we need to do. I know that everyone is attempting to get their software. I know there's a little bit of trouble. There has been. There was at the beginning of this term back in August as well. It's new that Sierra College is providing the software for the students taking these design classes, and it's kind of glitchy and it's kind of buggy. And sometimes it takes a day or two for the system to recognize that you're in the class so that you can get the authorization. But it should be on your My Sierra page. You should have a link. If you do everything that it says and it's still just giving you a trial version, you've got to contact student services, because they're the ones that will be able to help you to navigate that. The information of who to contact, I put the announcement that I sent out with the computer requirements has a link to student tech support. It was the second, I sent out my welcome letter, and then I sent out kind of an announcement with just computer requirement stuff, so it would be all in one spot for you. That has a link to student tech services that can help you, and that's all they're doing is helping people with the software issue. So go that route. If for some reason it's telling you you have a trial version, you should still be able to do the very little work that there is to do in Adobe this week. But if you have trouble and it's getting towards the end of the week, just let me know and I'll make a note of it, and it can be late and it's not a problem at all. The other thing regarding the content for this week, this class was obviously an on-ground, on campus in a computer lab class until COVID, and we were in a Mac laboratory. So there was a whole section of the class that was familiarizing everyone with the Mac OS and the Mac computer. Well, that part of the curriculum still remains in this course, and I've broadened it to include a little bit of PC. So we're not totally leaving out Intel-based, PC-based machines. If you have a PC, it's not a problem. There may be work where it seems like it's just talking about Mac this week, but it's just informational. If you have questions about how to turn in the work, or the fact that screen grabs work differently and you can't, do the assignment, you can email me, but trust me, it's totally fine. You should be able to get through it, and it's not a big deal at all. I added a little bit of PC related, like the keyboard shortcuts. I have those in there for a PC and for a Mac, but your quiz is still going to be about the Macintosh computer, whether or not you're on a Mac or not. So sorry about that. It is the design standard in the industry. I have been working in graphic design since 1991 and have never worked in an office that has had PCs as the design computers. I've always been on Apple computers. I started working on Apple computers when I was 13. So I've been using them practically since they were invented. And I love them, and they're a lot of fun. But I do have a PC that I jump on from time to time if I need to see how things work on a PC for your benefit. So feel free to just let me know if it's not working the way the tutorial instructions are given. And like I said, if you're having trouble with the software and your work this week needs to be late, just email me. And while we're on that topic, you will have till Sunday night to turn in the week's assignments, but I will take late work. I'll take late work all the way up till the end of week 7, and you will lose a few points, but any amount of points are better than zeros. So you can email me and let me know why you need more time, and you may not lose points at all. You can, the due date can come and go, and you can email me at some point after that and let me know, and you will lose some points, but let me know it's still coming. Communication is key. It's key in this class. It's key in the design industry. That's what we're doing. We're visually communicating. So you guys got to work on the verbal end of that as well, or the, email version of that. So I will take late work as long as you're communicating with me about why it's late and what's going on. What else was I going to say about that? That might have been it. Oh, I know. So I have it set as a default that all of the quizzes, you can have 2 tries to take the quizzes. I am open to opening it up to more than 2 tries, because my goal with those quizzes is for you guys to know the information, not to trick you. I'm not even really trying to gauge how well you're learning the information. I want you to get the information. I want you to know how to use the software. I want you to know your way around the design elements and principles. I want you guys to leave this class with the knowledge. And if taking the quiz more than once helps to get it to click, then I'm open to opening it up to more than 1 try. So again, it's communication. Talk to me. We can talk about it in the Zoom from week to week. I'll usually check in to see how last week's content and work went for everybody at the beginning of our Zooms. And, you know, I'm always open to it. So that said, that's kind of my intro spiel. I think I've covered everything that I wanted to talk to you guys about. I don't forget to add first and last name to your Zoom username so I can see who you guys are. And when I do a screen grab of the participants list, which is how I take roll, I have your first and last name, and I know how to sync that up with my grade book. And I'm just going to open up now for any questions. You guys are welcome to put them into the chat if that's easier. You're welcome to turn off your mic and ask me with your voices. And if you have no questions, give me 1 minute to screen grab the participants list, and you guys are free to go if you don't have any questions. But thank you. Thanks for showing up, and I will let you know when next week what time we are meeting for next week.